Hello and welcome to the Kobold Cafe where we are playing GURPS 4th edition. This is Liminality and I am Luke the GM. We've got joining us as always Tara.
Hey, I'm Tara. I play Silver.
And you're cured.
And I can talk again this week. Yep, I'm not. I don't sound like a monster anymore.
Yay. We've got James.
Hey, I'm James. I play Alexi, the
Berserker.
all-around smuggler scumbag with a heart of gold.
Mm-hmm. Not pockets full of it usually. We've got Lee.
Hi, I'm Lee. I play Gina, the kind of lazy layabout gambler.
Mm-hmm. Yep. We've got Everoth.
Hello, I am Ebroth, and I play Hui Yu, a cargo employee of the ship that is realizing about his previous talents.
Also pretty radiation sick right now.
Oh, yes, he's green!
If only. If only it were that kind of radiation. It's not Crash Bandicoot radiation. And we've got Jared.
Hey, I'm Jared. I am playing Dai Timur or Dai Yun, depends who you're talking to, because he needed to disguise his name for some reason.
For some reason. Rudy, sometimes known as Villano, because he too needed to disguise his name for some reason, is still catatonic in his room, being shunned for human trafficking, generally getting you all chased by a dickhead. Colin's not here. Rudy's fine, he'll just be quiet. Previously, what did we get up to? You went down to a high pressure planet searching for what your magical mystery orb was looking for. Was looking for? That's not quite right. What it was magnetically
It's
attracted
pretty
to.
right.
You went down there as part of like an adventure tour. You managed to book an exploring looking for this thing mission rather than a shooting big game mission. You took down one of Tima's old friends because he wanted to funge some apes and money that this evil, air quotes, mining corporation had, along with a bunch of practically slaves, very ill people that they were forcing to mine. Very red faction.
Sick
Aye, sick.
is what the people were.
Yeah, they were sick. Sick of your capitalisms. Um, you did come across some big game anyway. Large crab, an adult crab and its three bebies. Fight could have gone a lot worse for you if it had not crit failed and bonked a rock with its claw and really hurt its claw and ran away yelping.
I was gonna shoot it with the big gun,
Mm.
so
Yeah, like 10 seconds later, and you would have been able to blast it in two pretty much. Chichi Chuchi. Where we at? You found the orb. It were at bottom of a lot of water. Uh, Hui got it out. He took a lot of radiation in the process. The suits you were wearing had a protection factor of like 10, um, which means you divide total rads by 10. And he still took 23 or so GURPS rads, air quotes, different to real rads. So yeah, if you took 230 rads, you'd be having a lot worse day than Hui is right now, which is you feel incredibly sick and weak. I'm pretty sure you're down a DX and FP, and you've got radiation burns, like kind of on your chest and hands and arms where you were holding the orb underwater.
Wait, I'm not sure if he passes out or he's awake during that time that he's sick.
You probably would pass out briefly. I've still barely finished recap here. Ugh, getting ahead of myself. So, you brought this radioactive ball back to the mining base where Tima's old friend had full-on revolutioned. They'd killed the few armed guards and apparently had taken the manager hostage. You managed to convince your pilot to take you lot and a bunch of the sick people back up to the station, where you quickly moseyed over to your ship and hightailed it out of there, along with your 4 new passengers, who are Tima's old squad of revolutionaries, troublemakers, privileged college nerds. And that about catches us up. The slight retcon I would like to do is that I didn't really mention the interaction of these 2 orbs once they were both in orbit with each other.
I
Mhm.
thought you mentioned that one got more radiation.
It did get more radioactive, but it is also very strongly attracted to the other one. Both of them are attracted to each other, it seems.
Aw.
Sankara stones.
When you first got kinda just even out of the atmosphere of that planet, you heard a bonk as the orb inside the lead coffin moved, and then it took a lot of effort to not have it just fly down the corridor to your ship. And indeed, yours, the one that were already there, you like found it wedged in the corner of the room. So
There, you're muted.
We need to let these ones be friends. I need to get a radiation suit.
might be an option. Because yeah, they really do want to be friends, it seems.
They aren't going to like explode when they get together, are they? Gina would ask.
Shrug. Science is messy.
It sounds like a yes.
It really does.
Shrugs. Moves on.
So, it did seem like you were getting chased by the bounty hunter as you left this system, headed for the next star over that's worth talking about, Gleaser 49.
Oh no, we did a fake out, didn't we?
You did a very clever maneuver whereby he obviously saw you leave. It was unavoidable. But it took him a good 8 hours before he managed to leave himself. You caught just like a couple of pings of him coming out of the station, and you'd managed to keep yourself between planets and that station, so that your signature would have been hard to track before you initiated FTL. And you are currently going the wrong direction, but intended to stop after a while, turn around, and join a different route, if I recall correctly.
Correct. Yeah, if we were gonna jump over to the route over here, yeah, that.
Cool. And then Hui collapsed because he took a buttload of radiation. It would have actually
Well, we got him
probably
on a drip.
happened a bit earlier. It would have probably happened like as soon as you arrived back at the base, back on the planet. But that doesn't matter, that's fine. Yep, got you on a drip. You should be alright. All in all, if you manage this as quick as you possibly can, you reckon it's still going to be like a 11-day journey?
Happens. It's space.
Space, things are far apart. And yeah, I've caught up. I want to shut up because I just talked for 10 minutes straight, at least.
Fair. I am kind of worried the thing's gonna explode if they touch. Gina will say when we're together at some point on the trip.
Well, then we best make sure they don't touch.
Well, that's what I'm saying, but I suspect others might decide that we should see what happens when they touch.
Did you look over at Silver when you said others?
There's definitely a pause and a glance. And like, if that's what the group wants to do, okay, but I'd rather we decide it than it just happens. So what are we going to do with them?
Well, I have absolutely no idea.
You could always like drop one and then fly away faster than it's magnetically attached to yours. Weird, I don't know, a camera watching it or something. And then release the other one, keep flying away. See what happens when they touch from a distance.
Do we have the
Lol.
space for something like that?
You got the whole universe, bro.
It's space. Well, we're about to be cutting in between traffic lanes. Like, we could do it there. I doubt anybody's gonna bother us in those areas.
Wait, do what? Are you talking about ditching one of them?
No, like placing a couple of them out, and then letting them attract to each other while we get the hell out of there and observe from a distance.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense.
And if nothing happens, then we go back and get them. If something happens, we wait till it's safe to go back and get them.
I'm pretty curious as to what is going to happen.
You would
I
like to
just
do
don't. I just don't want to be there when it happens.
you would like to do something about it, Silver, because you worried that it might damage the container for the original orb.
Would we not be able to ponder on it anymore?
You could ponder all you like, depending on what happens.
On the radiation defense?
Until your eyes pop out your head. Well, I think you'll all probably be resting pretty soon.
Oh, absolutely. We've got a week.
Although it were a long trip up from the surface also, so you could also be rested already. Tima's old friends will have bunked down and they're sleeping it off.
We still got a couple of days before we get to that midway section,
Yeah.
the crossover.
Uh-huh. Anything anyone would like to be doing in particular? You've still got lots of data on the computers that you've not really looked through. You've still got possessions of your own that you've not really inspected. I don't think you've looked that much into this next place you go in. And you're not sure what data you've got on it, if that's the case.
Gina did seek out the travel guide stuff for this purpose.
It's got a pretty nice tourist destination on it. There's like an island that is heavily touristised. The place where you're supposed to be going is called Decimu City, and that's like the trade center of the planet, it seems. The capital is got a different name that I forgot, but it's on a map that you'll see at some point.
Sounds neat.
If you looked up the travel information, I may as well show it you. The planet's called
Fair.
Hedatet. You can ignore that grey box for now. That's going to be the line between night and day.
Of course, keep in mind the information we're getting is basically the information that like the Department of Tourism puts out.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, Hebri and Kisis are quite popular destinations. It's a fairly industrial city. Not city, planet. Like Kulsa and Lolgi especially are quite industrialized. It's pretty much solid TL8 across the board, down on the surface.
Nothing wrong with that.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
I mean, now that we have some time, Gina's definitely down for digging into her own stuff, trying to figure out a bit more about herself.
Cool.
It's a good way to kill a few days.
If you're going for a few days, I'd take a research roll at like +3.
Sure. Or the first bit of this trip, I suppose. I'll take the +2.
Okay.
Because it's not quite 3 days.
Sounds good to me.
Others?
Others?
I'll wait until you're done.
Well, people can feel free to jump in with stuff whenever as well. And oh wow, that's a good roll. You come across a few references to Hedatet, especially in your gambling diaries.
References to what?
The planet that you're heading to, sorry.
Oh. That is potentially concerning.
How radiation proof is our spacesuits?
I forget. Let me check.
Probably quite very.
I mean, I would imagine.
You'd hope so, wouldn't you? Protective gear, environmental gear and suits. Scrolling.
Rolling down the river.
Not as good as those suits you were in earlier. Back on that
Oh, okay.
planet, yeah. Only PF2.
Oh, never mind. I was about to let those two interact in the metal in the box there, but if that's it, no thank you.
Yeah, probably not good enough. Yeah, you'll have to get yourself like a proper radiation suit or something.
Yeah, next stop.
Will you remove the original one from its container, or are you just going to chance that it might damage those sensors that it's pressing against right hard?
Well, I'm not gonna do it. Oh, you're right. Yeah. Oh shit. I gotta do it. The first one wasn't as radioactive as the second one, right?
Correct, and it's still not very radioactive at the minute, just marginally more. Like 10 times nothing is still pretty much nothing, but 10 times a fair bit is quite a lot.
Screw it. I'm gonna do it. Get a child-sized spacesuit and walk that thing down the hallway.
Would you like to put the adult-sized one over the child-sized one for a little bit more protection?
I don't think I'd be able to. The DX modifiers would be way too extreme for me to do anything.
I mean, yeah, but it'd be adorable.
Also, it'd probably not really fit in any way that would work.
Yeah.
Yeah, there'd be gaps. Essentially, you just want a big lead apron.
I mean, yeah. Basically, my I think was gonna take it out of the box where when everyone's not around with the spacesuit, and get drugged down the hallway by it.
Take a hazardous materials roll. The guy who can do this is a bit sick though, so it'd be at a -1 from him. If you're making way do it, I mean he is already radioactive.
I'm not gonna make way to it.
What's a little more radiation among friends?
He's not going to get worse, right?
You hear a very wheezy. No, I mean
What does
just
hazardous material default to?
Let me check for you. Basic sets, trait lists.
I can't justify buying it yet, but I will be buying that skill.
IQ -5.
Holy shit. It.
You've got. You can make me a roll on your hazardous materials way to gear a +1. But if you fail, it'll potentially be a -1.
okay. Hazardous materials +1.
Maybe could I question him about it and then buy it as a skill and do this near the end of the trip? Nah, screw it. Go ahead. I'll do it
Okay.
the other way. Let's do this
Hazardous
dangerously.
materials with a +1.
No,
And go
you'd be rolling straight up.
Straight.
straight up. Okay. That would be a success by 7.
That's Gina's research.
I don't think it's posted yet.
Oh. Let me try again.
Come on, roll 20.
Oh,
There it goes.
success on the
On the
nose.
nose.
On the nose.
Alright, so -4.
I'll allow it. Hui's technically at a penalty right now, which I didn't want to say.
50-50? 50-50. Wah wah.
Ooh.
Not by a lot, though. Did I get irradiated?
You don't think so. You think you kept it pretty safe. You do.
And it goes... It gets tossed in the box if I can, and then the box immediately gets closed, and I run the fuck off.
I mean, yeah. Whereabouts did you do this?
Way end of the cargo bay.
Okay, rightio. It was
Away from
difficult
the
because it's essentially like with a strength of a strength 8 person in GURPS terms, trying to get to the other orb.
Yeah, just you guys hear clunk, clunk.
Yeah.
Just put the 2 boxes on their sides and then open them so that they can roll out towards each other.
No, I want that in
Fire
the
out
box.
towards each other.
It's in the metal. It's in the iron box, and I immediately get out of there.
Mm-hmm.
This is
And
why I don't
check
do
it
the
out via
engineering.
Cameras.
Need a couple
What's
more
it do?
boxes, really. You'll hear it, like, bonk against the side of that box, and that box will slide all the way across the cargo hold. Well, just fly, because it's, 0G. And crash into the panel above the secret hold where the lead-contained one is. You hear bonk
Oh,
on
that
the
I
other
wanted
side
to put
of
it
probably.
in the lead-contained box. I wanted to let those two get friendly to each other.
You're just doing that in the cargo hold.
Yeah, because I'm a mad woman.
Do you... No, you warned us. You just didn't give a lot of detail. Right.
So where are you when you... Where is the lead containing... The lead box that yeah, I need to see distances and visualize this a bit.
Yeah, I wanted to throw it in the lead box, wherever it may be, in the most secure, faraway place.
Let's
and
say
then,
this is the lead box.
Okay, and then kick off as quickly as I can. Like, do you want a free fall or something?
Okay, so you'd be right there with it.
Yeah, throw it in, close it real quick, and then kick off.
You can tech preemptive radiation drugs.
I will do that.
Yeah.
That's a good point. We read that.
Yeah, that's like a legit thing that we talked about.
And we probably bought some on the way up, as we realized that we should have bought them before.
Yeah, that sounds. I'm happy with that.
You want a free fall to get away and a first aid, I assume, for the taking the drugs, or is taking the drugs just a non-roll?
Yeah, I don't need a roll for taking the drugs. I'm just checking to see how effective they are.
I think it just modifies what happens with the health rolls.
Most likely. Yeah, I can check that later. Give me the free fall check.
Oops. You gotta go there, roll 20? Apparently not. There we go.
That's a pretty good roll. Get away pretty quick. Okay. Your back feels warm for an instant. You don't hear much. You hear a bonk, a bong of the lead container, and then nothing. You'll hit the wall at the other side like just a second later. You
Can't
definitely
move my
saw
character, by the way.
a very bright flash. You can't move your character. That's really weird.
I can move this one, but not
It's
that
already kicking in.
one. Okay. I can do it now.
Yeah. Very strange.
Well, then I'm gonna slam the door shut and then immediately start Geiger counting myself.
Yeah, right over there.
As soon as you turn it on,
Uh.
it is higher than it should be, but it's dropping fast. Like we in 10 seconds, it's kind of normal again.
Do I need HT roll?
Not just at the moment, no. What's your HT?
12 normally.
Yeah, no, it's in about 12 hours you'll need a HT roll. Although I still do need to check the effects of the anti-rad when taken before.
But anyway,
Anyway,
the mad lass did that.
yeah, the crazy girl did the thing.
Yeah, I think Alexi's like working on the engine. Looks over. Yeah, all right, over there.
You saw
Oh, yeah.
a very bright light.
What the hell was that?
Let's say you're wearing welding goggles even, and it like blasted out your welding goggles for a second.
Oh, I let the orbs be friends.
On the ship?
No one else is doing anything with it.
All right, all right. Can we look at the cameras in there, or are they fried?
No, they still work. Wait, no, I should check that because there's 3 cameras in the cargo hold, and one of them is not showing anything at the minute, but the other 2 are displaying. If you rewind a minute, then like you see a fiddling with the boxes over there, and then kicking off, and they all go to complete static for a second. They kind of flickery anyway, before, but then they're pretty clear at the minute.
And they're clearly showing.
Clearly showing. You can see it must have kicked the lead box a bit when they connected, because that's just floating around loose. But there is also a single orb in there. Just the one that you could see on either of the 2 cameras.
Oh, it's bigger now?
It looks the same size.
Oh, we just added mass to it. Awesome.
Well, that's eventually going to be a problem. You know, assuming we keep collecting them.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now I can put it back in its holster.
Wait. Is it radioactive enough to use as a fuel source?
It would have been before they merged for sure.
Oh, is there no radioactiveness anymore, or
It
hardly any?
it seems like there's a lot less now that you've merged them,
Oh,
Oh,
but
okay.
it kicked
Well,
off an insane amount. You're pretty sure when they did merge, like like a lot.
how long before we can go into that room?
You hold your Geiger counter up, and it seems all right. It doesn't seem like it's a sticky radiation.
Kind of dissipated.
Yeah, it's just in that brief instant flash.
awesome. Then I'll go back in there with the little with my first box or my sensor box and boop it in there. Or sensor ball thing. You know what I mean.
Aha!
Well,
It
what did that
halves.
achieve?
Preemptive radiation drugs halve your effective dosage
Oh, that's
Oh,
handy.
if you take it 1 to 3 hours in advance, and those are available from TL7.
great. I did that, so that's a good thing.
And then you were also in your PF2, and you only failed by 1 on a hazardous materials check, so I'll give you an extra PF to be nice, I think. Could still be scary.
Well, I just might have a bunkmate for a couple days.
Yeah.
Tell that to Daniel Jackson. Okay. Well, I guess go back to working on the ship.
I like the idea that nobody mentions it for the next 11 days.
Just like it's an elephant in the room during every meal.
Remember that time she did
More
that
of an
crazy
elephant's
shit?
foot in the room.
I was thinking
Nice.
more. We're expecting to like go out in space and do this test eventually. We don't realize it's already been done.
That's even better.
Uh, I can also divide the dose by the square of the distance in yards from the source.
How far did I get away before that shit happened?
It's half your strength, I'm pretty sure, right, when you push off?
Yeah.
So 5 meters, so divide it by 25 as well. Oh yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. You don't need to roll HT -3. You can roll HT straight up.
Straight up. All right. But roll dice rolling gods, don't fail me now. Hey!
Hey! So you succeed, so you're probably not going to die. You do take 6 damage from the radiation burns, though.
So it just burns. I don't have to like actually do what Ev did.
You will still want to do what Ev did, because
Okay.
you also start feeling very sick.
Actually, as soon as I get the thing back in its sensor thing, I'll float back in and just like plug myself in and go, "Hey, bunk buddy."
I'm not sure how to
It's good.
deal with radiation burn damage and conditional injury. I'm not sure if I should
It's same damage, just burning, so run it through.
run it through. Run it through indeed. I need to run 5 through for Everoth as well then. What's your max HP, Ever?
That would be 12.
12. Target has a robustness of 4. You took 5. Burning damage. Hit location. I'm just going to put torso / not applicable. You're not diffuse. I'm going to say you succeeded for the pain on this one. Not already injured. So you'll recover in 7 days. Everoth, you've got a -2 severity wound from your burns. Terra, your max HP 10. You took 6 burning damage to the torso / not applicable. And yep, you also succeed for pain. I'll just double it as that health roll there. Not already injured. You've also got a severity -2 wound, so you're pretty much the same. Although you from that 1 second where they merged and Everoth from a good
Extended.
20 minutes are holding it, yeah.
For a long exposure.
And he also didn't have the preemptive anti-radiation stuff which you'd had. So yeah, presumably that was a lot of radiation that it put off.
Rad.
Wah wah.
Okay. Crazy Lass did that. But it seems like only Crazy Lass and Alexei notice immediately. And yeah, it's safe to hold right now. Like, the radiation it's emitting is slightly more than a banana.
Well, it's still going back in the tracker thing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Thank you for giving me a scale for that radiation there.
No worries. Anytime.
Banana for scale.
On a scale to from banana to the sun, it's only got a. I'm sorry. I just killed every bit of momentum.
Sorry.
Yeah, not at all.
I wanted
It was
to.
a bit attempt for a pun.
I was looking to see if I had a radiation value for the sun. A 1 megaton nuclear fission blast at 2,000 yards has 6,600 though. So that's a lot. Well, other people, what do you get up to in these first 12 hours or so of the journey? We've got Gina researching, Alexei mechanizing, Silver maniacing, Hui resting or something. Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got
rest.
like 7 days to rest.
Yep. Sorry.
No problem.
Tima, resting for these first 12 hours or up to something?
Timer's gonna talk to his old buddies.
Alright. They're mostly resting. Sheng's passed right out.
In that case, he'll give it a bit of time. There was something he found in his computer a while ago he wants to take a new look at.
Oh.
You might recall it from when you looked at that. Oh, you know when the sheet sometimes fucks up so it's all compressed? I'm gonna reload roll 20.
No worries.
You might recall from looking at his computer and his inventory that he has schematics for a weapon on it.
Oh, yeah.
He's gonna try and figure out what's up with that.
Cool.
Can I give you an engineering roll with a plus something to understand what he wrote down initially?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Probably like a +2 at least. Especially if you spend it a while. Ah, very nice. Yeah, so... Oh, I see. If we go invention rules as well. Then yeah, you've got your inspiration, and that's the first part of the prototyping phase, I believe. Let me find it in basic set.
I have never looked at those rules.
They're kind of fun, but they're also really hard.
A success on the concept roll gives the inventor a theory you can test, blah blah. Yeah, you do tend to need ridiculous skill levels.
Or taking extra time, stuff like that.
It's more just a modification of his existing one.
I think the schematics give you a large bonus, though.
Yeah. Yeah, there's not much to be said for it. you can see. It makes a lot of sense. And it looks like something you'd maybe want to make. I don't know. You've got a gun design there.
Cool. Well, he will spend a bit of time looking at that, and then get some rest to make sure he's on the same sleep cycle as everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
Because he'll want to talk to his buddies later.
They'll wake up kind of at the, you're not sure when, but they start coming out of the dorms at the start of the shift cycle sort of deal that you run, Alexi.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Or you probably all gather at roughly a similar time for breakfast, don't you, I imagine?
Hmm.
Oh yeah, probably.
So yeah, these guys kind of wait till you're all doing that and then show up at the same time. Oh, it's crowded in here at a minute. It's space.
Probably
We've got
not
an
so
extra,
bad. Everybody
yeah,
can float around.
we've got an extra dimension.
So then in Hua Chao, Timur will ask them, well, talk to them about some things. So, what are your plans once you get to this new place?
Mm. Regroup and lie low. We've got friends there. It's a decent place. It's busy, easy to hide. A more wretched hive of scum and villainy you will not find in the galaxy, one of them says.
I see.
We had that one on the flotilla. Wait,
Yeah, he doesn't catch that.
It's not so bad.
What?
One
No,
of
I
them
mean,
says, "Oh right, yeah,
Alexei doesn't
because
understand.
they speak in a different language." I think you could open up a translator program, maybe, if you've got it.
I don't specifically have it, no.
They're expensive. Gina has that on her to-do list for purchasing though.
So are they like speaking quietly, hushed to each other, or are you just actively being like loud, conversational, like rude?
Normal.
Yeah, kind of normal volume.
Gonna like float over in between these two with an IV bag. And just be like, whisper, rude.
A couple of them have replied in common for like a sentence or two, here and there.
So, what do you think about what you just accomplished?
Happy. Those people have got the means now to achieve something. Is what
I
Sheng will
see.
say. What's the others' names? God's sake. I've got the character sheets open, but I forget Uzu. Bowl cut is Ning. Tattoo is Sheng. Aha! Dark hair is Tao, and blonde hair is G. Yes.
Weird question, but what does this mean? And Timur will lift up his sleeve, roll up his sleeve to show his tattoo.
What does it mean?
They adopted a fair bit of Arconan material culture as a symbol of resistance. They made a pact to fight against imperialism in all its forms and sealed it by getting tattoos based off of ones they had seen on Arconan laborers, not seeing the irony.
Ah, yeah, they all.
Up to you on whether they see the irony now or not.
Yeah, they look a bit sheepish, and they're like, yeah. You've seen it on Sheng already, almost definitely. But the others all roll up the sleeves now and show the same tattoo.
Oh, matching.
And Ning says, like, ah, yes, you'll have forgotten. It was a tattoo used to identify the Labour caste back on Arcona. We adopted it as the symbol of our collective briefly, but now we see the optics of that weren't great. We've enlightened ourselves somewhat. It was however many years ago? 10?
Like 5?
5? Feels like twice as long.
I understand. All right, wonderful to learn about myself, I guess. Probably could have gone without knowing that I've got a massive regret on my arm.
Sorry, one of them says. We share it too. We're thinking about... We just need to alter it. We need an artist to make something that can cover it up nicely. With little
May
effort.
not be removed.
You could just get laser removal too.
Too bad you're not speaking English or a language we all understand, because there's an artist sitting right here.
Yeah, actually, I was gonna think. Has Alexei mentioned how he got his No, he wouldn't know. Has he mentioned if he thinks what he thinks about his tattoos?
I think they are mostly decoration to begin with. So, I don't think he ever had it in his head to think about them.
Is there? Yeah. Okay. Hmm.
So what business do you all have? They speak in Galactic Common, G. On Hedatet. You were already going there, weren't you? Or did you decide simply because of our journey?
We owed a favor, or we did it to drop you guys off, right?
We didn't already have a destination.
Oh,
Although it sounds like a pretty nice planet.
it is quite nice. Oh shit. I got beat. GG. It is.
Takes skill to lose at tic-tac-toe.
It really does. Like I'm kinda, my mind is a bit blown. I'm just like, what happened to me there? I got wrecked.
You were GMing?
Uh,
That's what happened?
the whole planet is not so bad. It is a testament to the failures of liberalism.
What do you mean?
The planet has high levels of freedom, certainly, but to poor ends, and many cannot enjoy those freedoms because they lack the capital needed.
I mean, that's pretty normal.
Rolls their eyes. They do a Mexican eye roll.
Kind of in unison, I imagine.
Oh, what?
It's like a Mexican wave. Is that not what it's called outside of the UK?
The thing where you put your hands up in the air?
Where like a long line of
Wave?
people do a wave and it starts on one side.
The wave.
It's just the wave. There's no Mexican bit added elsewhere.
That's interesting.
Drop the. It's cleaner.
Always been known as Mexican wave to me.
Oh,
I wonder why. That's really strange.
I don't
Probably
know.
it's probably a racist thing. I will
It's
stop
a football
calling it
Probably
thing.
racist thing.
No, in my country.
Football thing.
So they do an eye roll wave. It is a football thing, yeah, for sure.
1986 FIFA World Cup.
That where it started?
Yeah.
Weird. Well,
Anyways, oh, you go.
yes, we have safe places on the planet. There are people that can help us. We can get away with a lot with the funds we've managed to acquire. Of course, we still, you know, used most of them on the collective. Almost all of it, in fact.
Switching back to Hua Chao, Timur will say, part of me wants to go with you, but I still need to learn about the past couple of years of my life here. Obviously, a lot of things happened, a lot of things changed, and I need to understand.
Tao says in common, you should all stay for a while on the planet. It's a nice place. Although
Yeah, like I wouldn't mind chilling and doing some stuff. Like that'd be groovy.
actually, cannabis is probably pretty good for you when you're suffering radiation sickness.
Or I'm on morphine, I assume, right now.
Uh, it's mostly like you just feel really ill, I believe.
Well, I'm at a
There are also
-2 to
massive
Dex and
radiation
IQ.
burns.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the burns, the burns.
So I put myself on some morphine and some aloe on my back.
Ooh, yeah, yeah. It's like gonna be just the worst sunburn ever all over your back.
But I am definitely on the morphine, so I'm groovy, man.
Probably not that hungry. Got like a tube of paste that you're just licking at. Let's take a quick break.
But-
I'm getting distracted
Okay.
by my bladder. So we'll be right back in about 5 minutes. Hello, we're back. Took a while, sorry about that. Okay, so it's breakfast. Silva's severely irradiated herself. She's as sick as Hui now. Although Hui, you would be feeling a lot better now, except for the burns.
All right.
So yeah, you just
Aloe and morphine, man. Aloe and morphine.
yeah, your arms are all bandaged up probably right now. Hui, your hands and what have you. So you can't really talk at the minute either, because you can't type on your keyboard.
He's like one of those all bandaged and all arms and legs raised up in one of those beds. His face is all covered, everything is covered. He can't talk, he can't say anything.
If only.
He might understand the passengers though, if he has the right translation stuff.
Hey guys. Hey guys.
Yes,
What?
Hey.
Yeah.
little girl.
Did you know?
What happened to
That
you,
we're-
by the way?
Who's saying that?
Any one of them, Tao. Because I'm guessing
Oh.
you're probably wearing like a gown at the minute, with a back open that's just all, covered in like burn plasters or whatever.
Oh God. Yeah. What? Are you okay?
Little girl decided to fuse the orbs in the
Are we
cargo
okay?
hold.
Fuse?
Yeah.
Fuse the orbs? They look a bit disgusted, a couple of them.
Magic.
Not a euphemism.
Magic.
They don't know about the orbs, do they?
Nope.
No.
No.
Is this related to what you were looking for on that planet?
Magic.
Says Sheng.
Magic math. Morbs.
Yes.
Yes.
You should be more careful. It seems dangerous if it could have caused such severe radiation burns. Did we potentially take any dose?
No. Cargo bay doors stuffed them all.
Well,
Tries to
that's...
give it like a tiny thumbs up, but fails.
Yeah, you can't move
Okay,
your
everyone,
thumbs.
just go about, eat your breakfast, and you lot forget all of this.
Is there any work needed doing? We're happy to work. We're skilled in electrics. I noticed several flickering lights.
Sure, we've got a list of things that need fixing. Yeah, Alexi will be like, just start prattling off a list of things that he needs fixing.
They can help, for sure, and they're willing to. Everybody roll HT for me, please. Uh,
Just spreading.
Phew.
not spreading. Looks like you all nailed it. Yeah. Uh-huh. And they will finish the breakfasts, and then they'll team up on some of those problems you've got and get to work. It's mainly electrical things that they can fix.
Cool. So I was,
No, go on.
once they disperse a little bit, Gina's gonna mention. So I was doing some looking, and I think I've already been in this system. It's
You've
possible.
been
It's possible we've
everywhere.
already been that way. Probably not you, but the rest of us.
Do you have any idea when?
I just found it before breakfast. I was gonna look at it more.
You do have a couple of ideas when dates which are less than a year ago, like maybe 10, 11 months ago.
I mean, a little less than a year ago.
So we were together as a crew then.
I have no idea how long you guys have been here, or frankly, I have. Well, ideas, but she shrugs.
What's interesting about that last visit that you made is that you noted a bunch of losses, but that you left the planet with more money. Like when your next entries are made, you've got more money. So there's potentially something you've not noted in your secret ledgers.
Like we got paid off, or like we stole something.
Those are two options,
Fair.
and for whatever reason you didn't write down why you got it. You just add a bunch more at the next place suddenly.
Does it seem like I was with the ship at that point?
Yeah. Uh-huh. I think you've been with a ship. You're guessing that you've been with a ship about a year and a half.
Fair. Well, I'm pretty sure I was with the ship at that point. I don't know about you guys, and I get the feeling that it might have been another one of those leaving quickly things. I suspect we were good at that.
I feel that
Right.
yes.
Do we have a way to disguise ourselves when we arrive then?
Definitely.
I could do the makeup.
If we can figure out some way to not register or not land on our own ship name, that might be handy.
Probably a good idea.
But I mean, in general, maybe just lay low a little bit until we have an idea of what's going on.
Cool.
Yeah. I don't think we do anything that's gonna draw a lot of suspicion.
Hmm.
How long were you planning on going the wrong way for?
Too long. Just long enough to like give him the slip. Get caught up in a lot of good traffic.
I think he wants a number of hours or days.
Oh,
Yeah, there we go. If you gave it like 4 days, then you'd have arrived at this place. So
okay.
you probably only want to be going for 24 hours to 2 days at the most.
Yeah, probably like a day then, and then cut over.
Did we already have navigation checks for this?
I don't think so.
No, I think it were for the stealthy escape. If multiple people have got navigation, I will take them all, and whoever's got the highest skill will have that with the modifiers from assistance. A success. You're lucky you failed. Oh, you do not leave awake when you come out of hyperdrive.
Oh, sweet.
So that'll have a few implications, depending on whether or not he spotted you wake in the first place, the person who were following you. Because he will see it disappear right now if he's following it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you will.
But he might not be following it, you don't know. And then your plan was to get over to the other lane. Did you want to spend some time not in FTL?
If
You've
we
got...
kick off FDL, it's gonna lay another track, right?
It will.
But going not FTL will be glacially slow.
Yeah, it will.
And you don't leave awake till you reach positive light speed, so you can move yourself pretty far.
And it's not
Oh.
like he's going to stop at the exact right spot to look for a wake.
Yeah,
Exactly.
can we cruise a ways out on at like just before light speed?
Like even a couple of hours at that would take you out, like fully out of your own sensor range of where you just were.
Okay, let's do that. And then yeah, once we're there, we'll boogie loo.
Give me a piloting check, please. It's difficult. Oh no, give me a mechanic check. You will have to rejigger the engine and play around while you're doing this.
Okay.
Because it's designed to run at a constant speed that is... Yeah. Cool. You can do it. You can do this. Ooh. You're so lucky that's not a crit fail.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say you spend 6 hours in total. Because you do suffer some issues with navigation during bubble travel.
Okay.
And then, yeah, join back up with this one. And you estimate that you're gonna have another 10 days travel now to reach Gleezer 49. Quick check. Nope, no quick check because presumably you just accelerate straight up and then join this general travel line at some point. Correct?
Probably. Yeah, I would assume.
Or did you want to turn off your engine and start it up again to potentially leave more wakes or not, to make your hiding possibly better or worse.
I don't know. Nah, I think this little Yui should lose him. What do you
Quite.
guys think?
Seems like it's plenty to me.
Sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
And then hunker in for the long haul.
Yeah.
Yep.
Later that day, you hear a scream. I'm not sure where you are. It's kind of just before supper time.
One thing we are sure of is that everybody's just kind of floating around.
Yeah, I think it's Ning screaming. You recognise his voice. The other three have gathered here. He was just in his room, washing up, using the bathroom.
Head in the direction of the scream. Eventually?
Silver and Hui, you're both in med bay, like salving your wounds.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I have the ball with me.
You have the ball with you.
Yeah.
Perfect. So yeah, you hear a scream from the corridor below, primary central hallway. It's Ning. He looks pale as a sheet. Were you two just were in your rooms and step out into your doors?
Yeah, pretty much.
He's
My
kind
head pokes out from orange.
as your head pokes out, he screams again. He goes, "Ah, God! Ah, this is what was that thing? What little girl? What was that thing?" He changes language to Hua, Hu,
Watch out.
Hua Trao. It's just
What?
the fuck was that? There was something in there with a. It went down. It's on the hydroponics level. It's on the hydroponics level. He turns and looks at
Oh!
the thing below him, and he goes,
Oh,
oh God! And he goes back in his room, and the door closes shut.
Keep coasting downwards.
He said there's something in hydroponics.
It wasn't
Grab
me this
weapons before
time.
cutting there.
Yeah, make a quick float on down to the hydroponics bay.
You don't see anything immediately, except for a cat, but it looks like it is asleep in the weed bush. No, you've got a catnip bush. It's asleep in the catnip bush. You can roll, or I'll just secretly check quick for you. You don't. No, you barely find the cat. He comes
You
on.
see anything down there?
I don't see anything.
It was. You can't miss it. It was 8 feet tall, taller than you, Alexei.
8 feet tall. What would be 8 feet tall?
It was hideous. It was a monster. It grey, pallid skin. It looked right at me.
Where
I
are
think
you,
I
Gray
think you're just
Man?
suffering from space sickness. You should just sleep.
I know what I saw. It floated right down from medbay. It was in there with you. Did you not see anything? He's using
Silence.
There isn't anything in here.
He's using his intercom. He like rubs his temples. He's like, I'm.
Can somebody look at the cameras?
Okay, I'll
On
stare
it.
off into space for a minute.
Don't even need a roll as soon as you do it so frequently. Quick rewind and yeah, nothing. He points at thin air and screams like a baby.
Alexei goes to the med bay and grabs like a night sleepy time.
Ning, come over to the pill tank.
Your pals are like, we'll escort you. Don't worry. We were down here the whole time. We didn't see anything come through.
If there's a delay, then actually he'll just mirror it onto his tablet and bring it over.
He's stepping
Look,
out the door
these-
tentatively.
This is the security camera footage. Nothing there.
He blinks. He looks at it. Shit. It looked so real. What's wrong with me? I saw it, I swear. I'm hallucinating? Why would...
It's just your standard space sickness. Come on, buddy. Let's get you to bed.
It looked so real. Why would I hallucinate something like that? He's all sweaty looking.
Yep, shoot him up.
Give me just a DX check, I'll take.
God damn it!
Only a failure by 2, and he crit fails his IQ check for reaction. So yeah, you grab him, inject him, and he blinks, and he's just, I'm gonna say he falls back into bed, but no, he just goes a bit limp. It's 0G. You can Velcro him down.
Yeah, that's exactly what we go do.
The fuck did you just do? Sheng says in Huao Trao, and grabs your arm with a syringe.
I put him to sleep. He's gonna take a little nap right now, and he'll wake up right as rain.
Ask before you do that to someone, he says in common.
Before I do that to someone, what? Have you ever been on a spaceship when people start not acting right? I don't know if you know this, but the whole thing's a self-contained ecosystem, and if anything goes wrong, everything goes wrong. So when shit like that goes down, you knock them out, and they wake up feeling better.
What was that? Says G. You hear that? No one heard anything. Below us?
All right,
Hello?
you lot,
He
into your
says.
rooms right now.
Who's there?
Fuck.
I don't understand you. He says in Hua Chao then, what do you want? You don't hear this? He turns and looks at you. All?
No.
Shit, he says in Hua Chao. Scheiße.
Start reloading that syringe.
Yes, please. What the fuck is wrong with us?
Yeah, knock him out.
Wah, wah, wah.
Are they okay?
Stay away from me with that, says Sheng. I don't hear or see shit, I'm fine. The fuck is going on?
I don't know. We should call a team meeting in the bridge. Team meeting in the bridge. All crew report to the bridge. You guys, bunker down. Bunk down.
It's not been explicitly said, so roll body language. People who've got it. The default, what's the default?
Dog shit.
Yeah, it is. It's because I'm scrolled too far down. Trait lists. Skills. Booty language. Detect lies -4, psychology -4. Is that it?
Okay, we've got this whole crew that is weirdly like adept at reading people's body language.
Well, yeah, so
Professional gambler, damn it.
yeah. Tao and G are definitely a couple.
Okay.
Good for them.
Yeah.
I'm happy for you.
That would explain this. I noticed this earlier.
It started as a space saving measure, but blossomed into something much more in my own headcanon, which,
Aw.
as it happens, is canon.
Hey guys, the ball is more massive now.
Yeah.
What?
Which brings us to my suspicions. Like,
She's
if
holding
that-
it out.
What are
Caleb
you?
will read her.
Why
It's
is
in-
it in your hands?
It's in the reader thing.
Yeah, it's in the nerd orb that she had made. The orb condom.
I
Oh,
stand by my reaction.
I'm guessing you've also got like your data pad silver that's showing your read-ins.
No, she thinks they can all see her computer readout in her vision because she's really high.
You can only see that when you've got a hood, but you may well have a hood on right now.
I mean, they have to be in full-on visor stuff.
Yeah, the brain implant chip just lets you control computers. It just lets apes control video games. And there's quite a high
Oh, I see.
mortality rate as well, apparently.
Okay. Well, then, then she would definitely have HUD glasses at this point. She's that much of a nerd.
HUD glasses don't exist, but goggles do.
Sure.
Yeah, you can get Google glasses type thing. I think my problem with hood glasses with the DR they've got. So I feel like I should allow hood glasses as long as they're, just like non-DR
Zero DR.
glasses.
Yeah.
Cool.
So
She's
yeah,
got those.
I will allow those. Yeah, I should have specified on that.
Is it safe? She says, still looking warily at the thing.
It's a banana radiation.
Is that good or bad?
You can likely check with your own Geiger counters, and the ship's own Geiger counter systems are showing that there's nothing out of the ordinary on the Peltec right now.
well, look, I think that the fusion of the orbs may have let something out, or caused something that is causing some form of hallucinations. Because it happened pretty quickly after, and that whole story about the space sickness thing was bullshit. I just didn't want panicky, freaked out people floating about our ship.
Wait. Sheng's room is close to ours. Their rooms are closer to the back of the ship.
That seems to track. But
Should we move them right away?
well, I didn't notice any. Yeah, we probably should, at least to be safe.
I'll be right back. Hey guys, for your safety, we're going to move you further up the ship.
What's going on back there?
It might be that orb, and you're the closest to it because you're on this side of the ship. We'll get you to the other side and just try to avoid all problems.
He shudders, unvelcros his pals, and flies them down to Sheng's room.
All right.
I want to see the gray man. I'm going to the cargo hold.
We think they're crazy.
Wait, what? Tara, I didn't quite hear. Did you say grey man?
Yeah.
No, Silver, have you been near that orb a whole bunch? Of
been
course you have.
holding it this whole time.
Do not go back there. It's affecting you as well.
No, I'm on drugs.
Also, all the back burns, which look weird. They've kind of got like a fractally pattern to them. And Ning was describing a grey, 9-foot tall humanoid shape descending from the med bay to the hydroponics.
Because there's no leftover radiation in the cargo bay, right? That's dissipated at this point.
Yeah, you couldn't detect any residual radiation back there.
Well, let's try to see what's going on back there. Come on, guys. Kick.
Boink, boink, boink.
At this point, why not?
She's gonna get us killed.
No one's actually been in here since it happened. Except for Silver, again, to rehouse the box. Geiger counter's not picking up anything out of the ordinary in here. Alexi, you see it immediately as you walk in. The walls all burn as well, but not normally. It's burnt in some kind of pattern. It looks a lot like the runes from the outside of that stone orb. Like this.
Well,
I got an idea. I got an idea. I'll float over to where when it went off, and like look at the wall. Is there a silver-shaped gap in
There-
your vision?
There is indeed a gap the shape of you. Like it's right next to where Tima's standing, but there's a smooth part of the wall, and the rest of it is ever so
Oh.
slightly engraved.
She'll like pull the thing so it's like, or so her entire backside is like just bare skin, and go, someone get over here and take some pictures of me in the wall.
It's still scabby and fresh, or like all sloppy and fresh still, but as you look at her back, you can see that it has been burnt a bit deeper in some places than others. Probably worth taking some pictures because you're not sure if it'll heal better or worse than how it looks. Also, it looks like it's been distorted because of the shape of the cargo hold. So there's patches where letters have been stretched out, or what you think are letters. These symbols.
okay.
They've done a number on your cargo hold. Your immediate reaction should be to be pissed about this fucking
Yeah,
graffiti.
Yeah,
that's kind
yeah.
of where Regina's going.
I feel like Alexi's just like, really? The next time we get one of these fucking orbs, let's make sure to do this in the vacuum of fucking space.
What do you mean the
But
next
then-
time? This thing's been nothing but trouble.
This is amazing. But you know, if we did this in the vacuum of space, what we wouldn't have right now is the magical
Radiation
text that it
burns?
put on the wall.
Insanity?
That lead us to what? Another one of these radiation bombs?
It is a thing when they combine together that makes a more massive thing. This is the coolest thing in the world.
It was supposed to
Universe.
be treasure, and it's worthless. I'll grant you it's heavier worthless, but still.
You don't understand.
If you can figure out a way to monetize this discovery, then you let us know.
If that thing killed all the seeds, I'm going to be pissed.
Oh yeah, the cargo that's in here, this fucking hold is full of cargo.
You got more seeds again.
Oh, we got something.
Yeah,
or the milk or eggs or something that
Whatever
is
it
perishable.
is. Yeah.
Yeah, we
Um,
picked up something. Like, this cargo hold is pretty much full.
yeah, it is
I do
pretty
like
much
the idea
full.
that it cooked a bunch of eggs. They're fine, just hard boiled.
Yeah, you can smell some popcorn maybe. And yeah, the crates are also ruined a little bit. It has damaged the containers of some of your cargo. Well, made it look like it's a bit damaged potentially.
Oh, really, Carl? Alright.
It's like not even a millimeter deep, the scoring that it's made and everything. And it's actually not even managed to make it a millimeter deep on your space shuttle. But it must have like vaporized air in between it and that, because you can rub little smudges off it. It definitely projected burnt something onto it. Probably
Well, that's
bits
not
of
good.
But
Silver's skin.
we get pictures of all of it like continuously, right?
If you want to.
Yeah, I want pictures.
I'll take photography checks.
Go to where you lit it off and make a huge panorama.
That's exactly what's happening, but someone else needs to do it because I'm part of the picture.
I'll take photography is IQ -5 or electronics operation media -5.
Can I give you artist drawing?
No.
So draw it.
Oh, yes. On the nose. It'll take you a while, but you can, like, obviously a lot of it's not going anywhere. And you can start with big, less detail, and get smaller, add more detail.
Lexi manages the photos.
Nice. Yes, you do. You want to be taking a photo of Silver's back every day.
That's
Well,
true. Different patterns are going to develop over time.
she's gonna be real disappointed when she's all healed up, because she gets to clean this fucking cargo hold.
Seems
That's
fair.
happening.
The imprints are ever so slightly radioactive. Not enough that even if you slept weird in your bed, you'd have to make a HT check for radiation poisoning after a month. But noticeably altered.
So I'm pretty sure I've never taken a science class, but does anybody have any guesses as to why this is making people go crazy?
Making what, sorry?
People
Grog.
go crazy?
Not at all.
What did you
Maybe
say?
there is something on the ship.
And it's invisible or really good at hiding.
Or both.
Unless an unreliable narrator is looking at it.
I'm definitely not very reliable. But I don't think that's what you were talking about. I feel like it's just a moment where everyone's giving each other the shifty eyes for a little while.
A little bit, yeah.
I'm
Well-
looking over the photos in my HUD. This is amazing, and hanging out in here for a bit.
A lot of the symbols do match up with symbols from the rock from before. They're catalogued quite well in the ancient research you've got, which you have got translations of, and you have had a little bit of a look through, but, you know, not a whole lot. You've got 10 days now, though, where you could be poring over
I'm
that
pouring
shit.
over that.
Yeah. Give me... How much are people going to want to get up to? I mean, these guys will wake up the next day. Rest of this day,
Uh,
what are you doing? It was supper time. About an hour's passed.
Staying a very long way away from the end of that ship.
Staying in the end of this ship.
Cool.
Probably tying one on in the cockpit.
Sorry, what?
Having some junk.
Alexi is tying one on in the cockpit.
Tying one on is shooting heroin?
Apparently American slang. Alexi is drinking in the cockpit.
Okay, I was
Okay.
like, that's probably not appropriate if Teamer's also hiding there. Ew.
Excuse me. Can you take your drugs somewhere else?
No, I was thinking different. Inappropriate.
yeah, I was gonna guess masturbating.
Pulling one out. Tossing one off.
Really?
Weird.
Am I the only one that knows that slang?
I have heard it before. In American things. Maybe it's a Colorado thing.
I didn't know it, so
Maybe
knows?
it's a rafter thing.
Maybe it's a rafter thing, or just like wild person like James.
I mean, I've heard the expression, but not
This
often.
is like the whole rutabaga situation again. I thought a rutabaga were a type of car until very recently.
Amazing.
Yeah. It's a Swede. That thing is called a Swede, you numbnutsers. Oh, I could go for some rutabaga. Driving my Chevrolet rutabaga. My Pontiac rutabaga.
Anyways,
anyways,
there's
We
drinking
digest
and
rutabagas.
other stuff going on in the cockpit.
Oh yeah, Hui. You'd be up and about, feeling a bit better, except for your burnt hands. Feel free to join in conversations. Gina, you going back to bed, reading more of your stuff.
Pretty much. We've got 10 days to kill, so it's going into the whole do whatever you can to kill time.
It pretty much is. If anyone thinks there anything in particular that you are actually trying to achieve, let me know. Otherwise, I will be fast forwarding, starting very soon.
do you
Could
want
you
a
update
research
the
or-
calendar to account for that?
Yeah. I need to go to Discord where it's pinned.
Or just type calendar or liminal and it should pop up in your history.
Yeah, it probably would. Scrolly.
You said 10 days?
Yeah, but one day has already passed. Okay. So there's some stuff that's not been accounted for in it already that I just need to mark quickly. Oh, it's Christmas has been and gone. Is anyone still a Christian?
No.
In game or
In game, it's Christmas just happened like yesterday in game.
No, I think we ditched religions, or
Gules.
largely.
I think it were Iota Persei where you just were. Okay. So you're expecting to arrive on Saturday the 6th of January.
Okay.
It's currently the 26th of December.
Luke, would you want research or linguistics or like what?
A research. And are you devoting as much time as possible during this journey to that, do you think?
Yeah, hanging out in the cargo bay too, because I want to see the Gray Man.
Cool.
-2, because I'm at a -2. Hey! Would have been a crit if it wasn't for that -2.
Well, if you're spending the full week at it, then you'd be at like +4.
Okay.
So it
So
is a
that's
crit.
a crit.
Yeah. You come across some good shit. I'll explain it close towards the end of the journey, because that's when you'd be getting the epiphanies.
Cool.
But you already start
That's
matching up a lot of stuff. Comparing notes and what have you. Coming to the realization that maybe those Acavis guys were a lot more right about the stone sphere than they might have known, if only they'd have known about the thing in the center.
We'll let other people have their stuff, because that was all I'm doing for like the next 10 days.
Mm-hmm. So, Tima, were there anything you wanted to say to Alexei on the bridge? When he started shooting up heroin, yanking on his penis and drinking beer?
Hmm. 1 second, just checking advantages, quirks, perks, etc.
Koi.
Have you got another of those?
Horse.
You probably brought like a 6-pack up.
Probably. Yeah. Toss one over.
Wub.
I hate how laggy the sheets got.
Yeah, all the Roll20 feels quite laggy recently to me. And then there's the chat box
So,
issue.
people are going crazy based on proximity to the orbs.
Yeah. What else is new?
Anyone else feel free to jump in this conversation that's not Silver. Seems like a dead end.
I think Alexei was coming up here
to avoid the
drink.
radiation.
Yeah.
Well, no, to drink and avoid having to like do anything or think.
Okay. He falls. Go on.
Alexei, I found something in my personal files earlier. Would you possibly be able to, at some point in the future, give me a hand? It looks like I was designing a new gun. Would you be able to help me put that together when I figure it out?
Possibly. I don't know.
Alright, I'll keep you updated on that.
Yeah, do. We'll see what happens. Now, if you'll excuse me. Glug, 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 glug.
Kazap. Blinky, blinky, blinky. The next day will come.
Oh, wait.
Oh,
Timur is going to take a look on the computers. We've mostly been using them like for their intended purposes.
computers.
Is there any just random other shit like games or stuff? Or
Oh yeah, there's
movies?
all sorts of stuff like that. Old news articles. Plenty of movies. Like,
Oh, is there some sort of locally made? I feel like Timur, given that he keeps a detailed journal and does all the pictures, that he would also have like some sort of local rating database of movies and stuff,
Rating database.
like his own, IMDb. You can rate movies.
Oh,
Well,
rating
with
database.
the way internet works here, you'd have to do it locally.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Aye,
He'll toss on some 10-star film.
Wonder where it
Jaws 17.
is. It's some war film, but it's like a really. It's got a great subplot about something or other, and it's were made in the past 150 years.
Hmm.
But you have got films from like 600 years ago in there.
He'll maybe put on something that looks a bit more like something you could just have some beers and shoot the shit while watching.
Oh yeah, you find some stoner films. Harold and Kumar go to
The Big Lebowski 17.
by the Cohen
Bigger
writing
Lebowski.
unit.
I hope that movie never gets a sequel.
Big Lebowski 17, yeah. It does not need another
16 is
sequel.
plenty.
The series peaked around 11.
I still like it. Oh, they'll still get my money. Well, the next day finally arrives. Teamer, I think you might go to bed, but Alexi, you'll probably wake up in that cockpit with cans floating around you or whatever. A cat
Probably.
stuck to your head.
Is there like a beep, 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 beep going off in the cockpit because we're about to crash into something?
No, just standard normalcy. I think maybe the cockpit door opens because these four have stepped in. A couple of them looking pretty groggy. And Ning's just like, sorry for my behaviour yesterday.
Nah, don't worry about it. Haven't anybody.
I've not seen anything since I woke up about 30 minutes ago. And I haven't
that's
heard
good.
anything, says G.
Good. Well, do you want to know the real trick to making it through all this space travel?
What's that?
Well, you see, there's a whole lot of nothing going on here, so what you gotta do is get good and baked and then open up the cigarette pack and start flicking cannabis at them.
They'll catch it. I wonder if they've ever tried it before.
Like, probably like a bunch of pre-rolled joints just floating about.
Sheng will catch
Tap,
one.
tap, tap, tap.
Light one up. Pass the lighter.
Oh, they probably have lighters on them already.
Oh,
Yeah,
fair enough.
as you're about to flick the lighter over, Sheng lights it. The other three refuse for now and say it's too early for them. But Sheng smiles and gets super baked.
Too early. It's still dark out.
It's always dark out.
Hey, my point exactly. There is no early or late in space. It's when the fuck ever.
Fair enough. And alright, sounds like for the less interested in research and stuff, it's mostly play video games, watch old movies, and smoke weed. Sounds alright.
Definitely.
I mean, once you got a spaceship that is pretty much fully automated and you know it's in ship shape, you literally can just like. We've got 10 days of floating through nothing.
Mm-hmm. In fact, yeah, I bet there's a few video games that you all end up enjoying a lot. Party
Definitely.
games. A couple of you probably get like like you see that you've got saved games and stuff that you restart and you're not quite sure what's going on, but your muscle memory kicks in on a few of them.
Mario
you can start
Party
over.
2070 2792.
There
You
you
find
go.
a game you have 100% completion on, and you get to start it over.
And yeah, pretty much
With
that's what
with
you do.
New Game Plus.
It's the dream. Alright, so fast forward in effect. I'm sorry, Silver, but you don't see any grey man.
Oh,
Your back does
but I
get
do.
incredibly itchy.
Oh, I imagine she is doing that disgusting thing where she peels.
Oh, yeah.
That's what kids do.
Yeah,
Her skin's already doing that for her.
you get some big ones as well. And you bleed a fair bit because you pick too deep.
Yeah.
But it does look like it's healing quite nicely. It doesn't look terrible, the pattern it's made. It's kind of badass. Scarification. Weird.
Well, she's also been applying all of the ointments and first aid stuff.
So it's healing nicely. Eventually the scar will probably fade entirely. And yeah, after 7 days, you and Hui will be fine. You'll have fully scabbed over, and you've got that like fresh pink skin of scar tissue where it were, but it's getting back to normal.
Brand new skin. Brand new skin.
Hey, Lexi, are you really going to make her clean that whole place?
Yeah.
Nice.
You
Hey
get
girl, you're looking better now.
She just flips you off as soon as you start on because she knows what you're gonna ask because you said it to her.
No, this is not an ask. You make a giant mess like that in the cargo hold. You clean the giant fucking mess in the cargo hold. That's part of being on the crew.
Still gets the middle finger, but begrudgingly will do it. Half-assed.
It's mostly the shuttle that needs cleaning, because that were the only thing that actually got dirty from it. Everything else is just permanently engraved. Like you'll need an angle grinder with a wire attachment or something to just scratch out everything else.
It's a cool art thing.
Yeah, it doesn't look terrible. Especially if you stand in the right angle. It's one of those weird perspective arts. But
It'll look funky once all the cargo's removed and bits of it are just missing all over the place.
takes you a full day to scrub it, and that's when you have your epiphany. Like, you see a symbol that you couldn't get a good glance at on the pictures you were mostly looking through when you're like scrubbing out the inside of the engine on the shuttle. And you realise that that is the symbol, potentially, for where the next thing is. It only appeared once or it appeared a couple of times on the pictures of the stone orb that the Akavas Corp had, and it seemed to be based on where it were, potentially pointing at the next radioactive sphere.
I'll cross-reference with the data that the condom's been giving.
And this new one that you've found now,
Sorry, what?
the condom
we
that the
called it
ball is
before.
in. I called it the orb condom
Okay.
earlier. I was going to mention that. Give me a mathematics applied.
What? Mathematics applied? Okay.
It's pretty complex, but you've had a long time to be working this stuff out, so I'll let it be straight as well. Oh, every single time that you do this. Yeah. That's definitely an important symbol because it matches up pretty much directly to where the smaller one on the big stone sphere was.
So the first planet?
The first planet were pointing at two places in particular with this symbol.
Okay.
One of them was where you got the second sphere,
And now
and
there's a third.
there
Point
is
it on the map?
a third that you only really can get the direction. But in these 8 days that you've had in interstellar space, the orb is ever so slightly magnetized, and it is in this direction somewhere. So it's like a few stars that it could be.
Also, I can. Well, I can. Once we actually get to a different place, I can use geometry and triangulate.
Yeah, you can. So you'll be able to narrow it down a lot very soon.
I won't tell anyone because they're still mad at me.
All right. Last few days will pass. Oh yeah, I wanted to say, Tima, you'll get told so much about your past with these guys, and they'll tell you stuff that you told them about your childhood as well. They will all try weed at some point. Sheng quite enjoys it. Ning has it a few times, but G and Tao aren't too fussed. And yeah, they open up, laugh about the past that you can't remember. Talk about silly japes you pulled off. Talk about great things you did on Arcona. You helped get a lot of essentially slaves off of Arcona, apparently. People that they tell you they like even spoke to as recently as a couple of months ago. Are they doing great? They even asked about you. And obviously we said we'd not seen you, and we thought you were either dead or in prison maybe. They'd be happy
So
to...
there was always us as a group of people. Were there ever any other people in my life?
They'd
He
nod.
will pointedly ask.
Yeah. We've known a few comrades that have been martyred. People who were with us
And
from
he
the
will
very
ask,
beginning.
going over Luke's head, apparently.
Yeah, apparently.
He's asking if there was ever anyone special.
A romantic interest.
Yeah.
I think there was, right? Pretty sure there was.
I did not include that in bio. That's a you decision.
They will say that yeah, there was a woman. She's still on Arcona though. She essentially rejected you for class. She didn't want to become a penniless space pirate. Which is what she called you all. Yeah, they look a bit awkward when you ask that, and they're like, there was, yeah, this one woman.
Ah.
She was part of the same cast as us, really. But she couldn't give it up like all we did. She loved her family too much, it seemed. She had sisters and a brother. Much younger than us. I've not got anything super specific to tell you exactly about your past,
Yeah.
but you can definitely remember a lot, or, well, be told a lot that's fairly accurate, you feel. And let's arrive at Hedatet, shall we? Or Gleezer 49, to begin with.
Oh, when you
Oh.
keep saying habitat,
Yeah,
there's the English word head, and do you know what the French word tête means?
I do not. Is it booby?
Head.
Oh, head and head. I think it's called. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. I'm not sure how you pronounce ancient Egyptian words.
I don't know. Tara, how do you pronounce ancient Egyptian words?
With the correct vowels.
With the incorrect vowels.
Correctly.
Well,
Actually, Lee is very close to it because we don't know the vowels.
yeah, it's like, yeah.
What if the word that we're trying to say is con? No, wait, wrong series.
Still a good one, though.
You will be making your final approaches. You've all been in 0G for a while. It sucks. People who were ill are now essentially fine, but with patterned backs.
Wait, wait. Oh, you mean
Or
radiation
arms.
burns?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was like, ill.
Some
Do you
of
mean
us prefer
the people who went a bit crazy suddenly had patterns on their backs? Because that's concerning.
No. They have been watching over the shoulders. They have not seen anything since. G can describe what he heard, and he said he thought it was someone talking in a strange language, but it sounded really creepy. He said, it didn't sound like a human talking. It sounded more like a dog speaking a language or something like that, like a
Ruh-roh.
yeah, like a Rui Rax.
We're gonna have to stack on Scooby snacks.
Only if you want Scooby and what's his tits to do stuff. Shaggy, that's what they call him. Matthew Lillard doing NFTs like a bitch. I'm gonna funge the fuck out of you.
Aw.
I never understood something about that. Why call him Shaggy if he never shagged anyone on the show?
Well, because he's a shaggy,
hair.
shaggy dude.
It was a children's show.
Also, I'm pretty sure Shaggy's ace.
What's it when you like dogs, but not in a sexual way?
Ace.
Okay.
A dog person.
A dog person. Yes, I like dogs, but in non-sexual ways.
You're making your final approach. In fact, you're so close to the star that you decrease below positive C. You're now going as fast as the common photon. And you
So we
do
all
leave a
liquefy and
wake.
die.
You do leave a wake.
Okay.
So there is a slightly bent one that someone could find if they looked hard enough. But again, space is a huge and empty place, and though the
Yeah,
wakes
this
are
guy's never-
detectable, you do have to be at fairly close range to them. Relatively.
Excellent.
It'll be like finding a needle in a haystack. And even then, there's lots of needles in the haystack, and it's impossible to tell if it's the one you want or not.
Like finding a specific needle in a needle stack.
And the only way of
Like
finding out.
finding a needle in the vast emptiness of space.
Yep. And then taking it back to its owner. I don't even know.
In any case, we plot the approach.
Plot the approach to the planet. When you end up about 25 AU out, you will be pinged with a request for flight plan, docking credentials, all that usual stuff.
We've got it now, don't we?
We do.
Send out the usual stuff.
Cool. When you're getting in only about 10 AU out, this planet orbits really close as well, by the way, because it's such a dim star. You will receive further ping access granted. You will want to be docking with the orbital station to begin with, I'm pretty certain. Or one of the orbital stations. Because that is something I wanted to mention and forgot to. Your cargo hold is full. So full, in fact, that you can't fit even like a quarter of it on the shuttle at once.
Okay.
So if you were to fly it all down, it would take 5 trips or more on the shuttle.
So the orbital station's just easier.
So yeah, orbital station is just easier. You can park there and either tell other people to arrange their own couriers or arrange couriers for it yourself, or just take 5 trips yourself. Because there are also stations here with the legendary skyhook technology, air quote.
Sweet.
These things are massive O'Neill cylinders unto themselves. Not quite as big as the one at Elena that you just came from. And nowhere near as decked out for high class living.
I definitely say let couriers do it.
But there are
Mhm.
three or four of them in equatorial orbit that all can fit a good 1,000 spaceships and offer services so that you can pretty much get flinged down to the surface or caught within an hour of plotting your flight plan and paying the fees.
Once we're closer, are we able to access like the internet?
Yeah, that'll already start coming through very slowly. Gets faster and faster closer you get.
Update our memes.
Yep, all the new memes come in hot and ready. Got like 10 episodes daily dose of internet to watch.
Gina would love to look herself up just to make sure there aren't any like active warrants or stuff like that. We'll do the same for others as well.
You find all the bounties that you've seen before.
But nothing specific for here.
Nothing specific for here. It doesn't seem like you're wanted by any security force operating on this planet. Or
Great.
even in orbit in this system anywhere. So your only threat would be bounty hunters from those aforementioned places. The Gongji Federated Empire, Solar Republic.
This should be a nice relaxing stay.
Hopefully. As you get closer and closer, you start getting more details on the planet. Hedatet. You're headed for Decimu City eventually. That's where your illegal drop-off is due to take place. So that is the one thing that you'll be landing on there, definitely within your shuttle.
But luckily, those ones were in the spiffy hold, so those all should be fine.
Mm-hmm.
So what kind of a city is Decimu City?
Fairly industrial around the outskirts, but it's the trade hub of the planet. Edina is the capital, and that's but it's pretty much the same amount of people live in Decimu and Edina.
Millions, billions?
Millions. Altogether, there's about 1 billion people on the planet.
Cool.
So Edina's got a couple 100 million. Decimu's got like 250 million. And then spread out across in between these areas is the rest. Kisis is the very touristy area. It's a pretty tropical island.
Is there any university or scholarly place on this planet?
Yeah, there'll be a couple of universities. There's probably there's definitely a university in Decimal City, and there's one in Adina and Kulsa as well that you can find pretty quickly on your computers. Oh, you already rolled it for me. It's yeah. You make dock with the skyhook cylinder, and how about another quick break?
Sure.
Sounds good.
Cool. Quick break,
Okay.
and then I'll fling you to the planet. Alright, I'll be right back. We're back, and you've arrived in the Gliese 49 system. You have docked with the orbiting spaceship car park you were guided to. And it's time for your regularly scheduled customs inspection. I don't think I've had smuggling rolls for the hidden stuff, so give them me now, please.
Smuggling in the legal stuff.
Good job.
That is a good job.
As well, Luke, I am going to actually, before we land, just move some of the legal stuff around.
Okay.
Like even just spin it.
Cargo handling, please. Freight handling.
To spin it around in 0G.
Nah. Just if you wanted to keep it easy to unload and stuff.
All I'm saying is it's rotating 90 to 180 degrees, just so when they go in there, it's not obvious that there was a weird thing that happened.
A lot of the stuff is strapped down.
Well, the stuff I can.
Give me an IQ roll anyway.
Okay.
There's a skill for it. We should look at things like this. Specify 3. You move stuff about. It is no longer obvious that something weird happened in there. It just looks like you've got a strange pattern on your wall now. And they do look at it a little bit long. And then they say, ship clean, credentials all clean, welcome to headed it. Enjoy stay. And they take your
Thank you.
payment. How long do you want to pay for? Discounts for buying in bulk.
What do you guys
I
say? A
mean,
week?
Yeah, I was about to say a week.
2 weeks. We just spent 2 weeks in the 2 weeks, please.
It is slightly cheaper overall. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not quite twice as much as 1 week.
Yeah, sure. Let's do it.
I was wondering about getting your spaceship a wealth characteristic.
That's actually not a bad idea.
Yeah.
And then, giving it bonuses and negatives depending on what kind of stuff you'd want to give up out of your own.
Makes sense.
And then trying to calculate its base score based on the cost of trivial purchases at different wealth levels. But for now, I think a roll of 11. You can afford it easily. Yeah, no trouble. Docking fees at least. And yeah, part of this was making things like docking fees for the most part trivial purchases that don't need rolls for. So let's say that's
Makes
a roll
sense.
for fuel, and you make that roll for fuel, and your ship's wealth score now goes down by 1 for a week, I think it is. So you're fully fueled, and you've got docks. You got docked for 2 weeks.
Sweet.
And we're on this station, right? Not a planet.
You are not on a planet yet. You're currently still in zero gravity, where your spaceship is docked right now.
So what kind of place do you guys want to check out down there?
I think first things first is we get rid of all this cargo.
Definitely.
Some of it is perishable.
Yeah, I think Alexei starts making phone calls to whoever he needs to deliver stuff to.
Quick. Almost everyone expected it to be delivered on planet, it seems. Quite a few people are fairly angry that you suggest they're arranging a courier.
I mean, I feel like he can arrange to get it down to the planet. He just
Letting him know it's there.
Yeah,
Package
we're
is on the
making
way.
contact.
yeah
Not demanding that they come and get it.
Okay. In that
yeah
case,
yeah.
then yeah, people are pleased. And
Or potentially making contact to demand they come get it. And the first one's pissed and immediately pivots.
yeah, that sounds good to me. I like that one. And yeah, people are amenable. Pleased that it's here. Want it as soon as possible.
Cool.
They're all in Decimu City as well.
Oh, you know what? We could use that for the shuttle as a way to cover moving illicit goods down there too.
If they're all there anyways, we might as well land.
Well, we can't land the ship. We have to do the shuttle.
Well, sure, but we can
hook it up.
Yeah.
we can start doing the back and forth thing.
Yeah, it's gonna be a few trips on the shuttle.
You'd actually use almost no space fuel as well, and in-atmosphere fuel is just water. So
Yeah, do that.
making a few trips is not unfeasible.
And there's plenty of stuff to do in Decimu.
Uh-huh.
She holds up the brochure that has that on it.
There is. Decimu, not just for traders anymore.
Yeah,
Yeah,
plenty to do in
if-
Decimu.
If you guys want to go find us a place to stay and possibly find us some work or a lead on the next orb, Hui and
on
I
it.
can start working on making some deliveries.
Yeah, you guys want to start doing the shuttling? We'll catch the elevator.
Silver, you can already say that you don't think the next orb is in this system.
Oh, I don't even say anything because at this point I just got the second data point. I'm waiting until I get the third. I want to seem really smart at the right time.
Okay.
Like, be like, I have it. It's here.
Fair enough.
Wait for someone to think it's a good idea and then be 3 steps ahead of them.
Yep, exactly.
Are you bringing the illegal cargo down on your first trip down? Or are you going to save it for a later one?
You might want to go with something legit just in case there's weird customs when you get there.
Well, I'm kind of thinking like the illegal stuff in stages with the rest of the deliveries.
Okay, so... But maybe not on the first, maybe find somewhere to stash it down there.
Yeah. Or even... Yeah. Go down, find somewhere to stash it.
And then on the rest, the other 4 journeys, bring it down in quarters.
Yeah.
I would like a proper freight handling to now load up the shuttle, please.
That's an Ev.
Hui, show us the freight.
I am on it.
Failure by 3. Takes you a while.
What's
Yeah,
the
it's the big
default
stuff.
on that?
The
Default is IQ average. No. Yeah, IQ average.
There was talks of disguises.
Unless someone tells her to do it, Silver's not doing it.
Did Gina's search bring up anything of her name?
True. She didn't find anything indicating that she's wanted or anything like that? Not for you guys either.
I forgot where I was looking for the default for freight handling.
Found it.
Sorry. Failed by even more. Like, good job, Hui.
Remember, you only have to be less incompetent than the other guy.
It's not a crit
So
fail,
you
so
got
nothing's
a
gonna
job.
break. But like, you're gonna land down there, and it's all gonna have reversed, inverted.
Shifted.
Yeah, gonna take like 3 hours to unload all that cargo.
Land, unload, keep doing it.
I would like
And the
a
rest of us elevator.
piloting check to land. There is no elevator. Essentially, so this process looks like you request permission to land on the planet now in your shuttle. You will be given a flight plan. They ask you your destination, and you get given a flight plan to do Terra City, and you even get given a docking location for when you land. It's an ocean landing. Well, lake water landing. That's a great piloting check. And you will fly your shuttle out of your ship, close your ship up and lock it remotely, fly your shuttle over to the exterior of this station and match its rotation, and you then get clamped onto by a long cable that extends you out while you're spinning around. You all experience like 0.6 G or something while this happens. And then it whangs you down to the surface, and a few minutes or even seconds later grabs onto something else that got thrown up at the same time.
Would it really grab us on the way down? Wouldn't it just be better to enter Atmo?
I think it might use our weight to pull something else up.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
I see.
It is partially using your weight to pull something else up, and it does save you a tiny bit of fuel. Because deorbiting's still expensive, and this station's fairly high above the surface. But yeah, excellent piloting check. Weather is clear. Little bit of cloud coverage in places, but nothing you've not dealt with before. All your radar functions are fine and what have you. And you come into Decimu City, and I've got a weird map of the centre. So it
Much
is.
bigger than the last place that we
Yeah.
were planet side.
It is very dense.
This is a real city.
Yeah.
It's a proper city, this place. It looks familiar to all of you. You all get a weird deja vu feeling as you're coming down.
That's Silver.
Not Silver, no, sorry. Forget about Box Girl all the time. The park in particular. Go on.
Before we part, Gina will remind everybody, remember, try to play low.
Ah.
Right.
Yes, because that's what we're so known for.
Remember, guys, no revolutions this time.
Yes, that would
One
be.
per month.
We weren't planning to try a revolution here. Too difficult. We're not ready. Say your friends as. Sorry, I'm just getting a little marker for where you land your shuttle, and I may as well use your shuttle.
Great. We are here. You guys can be about your business as soon as you pay us.
Wrong map. It's the
They
map
already
that
paid
you're
us.
on.
Wasn't it the monkey coin that we got?
Monkey coin? No!
Wow!
Oh, those guys.
Is this the
All
planet
right,
of
maybe it's
Gulliver's
not
Travels?
that big.
Yeah, the citizens come out and start throwing ropes over your ship. Strap it down. Screaming, you can't really hear him. It's all Alvin and the Chipmunky.
But this is not to scale.
Not to scale still, no. This is roughly correct.
Yeah, but our ship is not a kilometer.
Not last time I checked, no. It's more like 10 meters. 15, I think, technically, is the whole length. Yeah, there is a further customs check. And the things that you declare have to go through some checks themselves, but essentially it's your job done at this point, and you can collect your credits payment for this first delivery.
Okay. As they're going through, can I watch carefully and formulate a plan?
Look
No,
for a
I
hole.
cannot.
Oh, I've got a...
Oh man, I got a great idea.
Oh, you have got a great idea, shit. The GM may determine what happens to you.
I'm watching the people.
hmm Yeah, it's a pretty smooth operation that they've got. And this place doesn't look unwealthy, doesn't look poor. But it's not as rich as above ground on that last O'Neill cylinder. And nowhere near as poor as Doterra.
Oh, I was looking for weaknesses in the people.
No, yeah, there's, you could definitely slip stuff past these guys, you reckon? They're not paying that great attention. It's pretty much like you pile up your stuff that needs to go through customs, and then they start checking it. You could essentially just walk past them with a box, and it'd just be if someone said, "Oh, yep, do you need to send that through customs?" Then you'd have to lie and say, "No, I don't," and they'd be like, either believe you and say carry on, or disbelieve you and say, "Let me have a look at that."
I will whisper into to James's ears. Whether he listens to me or not, because he's got a genius idea, is another story altogether.
No, you could incorporate that into your genius idea slightly, I think.
Yeah, we'll use that. We'll make that work. Yeah, I think I figured this out. Hey guys, as soon as you get this all unloaded, I'm gonna head back up and grab the next round. We had quite the haul.
Cute.
Maybe find one of the customs agents and be like, "Yeah, I'll be back. You gonna be here still?"
I'm here for another 4 hours. And yeah, you'll probably be back in 4 hours.
Oh, well, that'll just brighten my day.
He kinda...
Smile and wink.
He blushes a little bit, like, pulls at his collar, like, well, he looks pretty pleased with himself. Just paid him a good compliment.
Well, Gina, have fun trying to find the local gambling establishment. When you get a room comped, let me know.
Will do. Having forgotten she's supposed to lay low.
So, as soon as you leave the, like, customs warehouse that you have to pass through, Gina,
Mhm.
you feel everything is very familiar. The smells, the sights. Alexi too, I want to say. The whole customs area felt familiar to you.
Okay.
Like, you knew where to walk without even having to look up at the signs that are printed in 10 different languages. And yeah, this
So,
place does
we've
not...
been
Yeah, you've definitely been here. You can feel that you've been here before. Maybe a, a whole bunch, based on your reaction to it.
I was about to request a research check or something to look up like the right place to go, but it sounds like maybe the better option is to just head there and see where I end up.
pull a toucan Sam. and
Mhm.
follow
Follow
your
your nose.
nose.
It is an option, so you can kind of do both at the same time, given your
That's
data
fair.
pad and the internet on this planet.
True. Sort of surfing the internet on my phone while wandering.
Yeah, and close to the docks there is a fair few establishments, mostly drinking places and eating places, you think.
Yeah, the docks is clearly not the right district for us.
Luke, do they weapons and stuff? Do they like what is the weapons policy?
Weapons policy. I'll take a law roll or a research roll.
Research is coming. Oh no, I get all the wrong information.
You, from what you can see, there's no laws about personal weaponry on this planet. From what you can make
Okay.
out, like none at
Well,
all.
then she's got her like what do you call it, the
Knife,
needle gun
needle gun, needless. Yeah.
in her little like backpack.
Was she visibly researching, or is this just thing she looked up?
Just thing I look up.
Cool.
And then also my boot knife in my boot.
Mhm. Okay. You will set the metal detector off. And you're not trying to hide them particularly, are you?
No, and if they ask, I'll be like, last place I was on, a bunch of guys tried to kidnap me. I'm not having that again.
These are allowed, but not like this, especially the boot knife, they say. You may not carry a concealed weapon. You may not carry a firearm of a caliber larger than this, or a firearm capable of firing at a rate greater than this.
I don't think my needler meets either of those criteria.
No, it's legal. This is fine. You should declare it.
I declare it's awesome. She smiles.
It's pretty cool, one of them says. It's really cool. The other guy says, who's walked over to look at it. Where's it from?
I'll continue a conversation and let distracting if anyone else is trying to get by while distracted.
If there's a metal detector, Gina's in line for declaring her gun also.
Mm-hmm. Unless you want to try and smuggle it through. I mean, it's possible.
Is it?
Yeah, well, they're distracted. You toss it along the side of it or over it or something.
Yeah, what's that film with Woody Harrelson and that weird Dave Franco and the Zuckerberg?
I mean, if that's a possible thing, I absolutely have the skills for it. It just seems like a not possible thing to Lee.
I I think it's possible, yeah. Open up for a bit of cinematicism. You'd slide it along the ground. You could chuck it in something else that's going some other way and then pick it up somewhere else.
Let's put it on one of the guards and pull it off him on the other side.
Oh yeah, that's perfect. Sleight of
Especially while I'm
hand.
distracting everyone. Great.
Oh no, pickpocket's even better. You're still in secret roles. Bigger
Do you
success by
want-
6. And
There you go.
success by 6 again. Very nice. He
I
doesn't.
was about to say I can
He didn't
help,
feel
but
shit.
nope.
No, you probably don't even notice that she did it.
That was definitely cinematic, but
That's this customsy thing. Is there a possibility to, if you realize you shouldn't take something, to bring it back, or what?
Yeah. I mean, Alexi's still here. Like, it's gonna be another 30 minutes before he can take back off. So you could quickly run
Okay.
back to shuttle and pass it to him.
Timur will try and declare his small sword.
I is fine. Da, no
Phew.
prob. Little baby thing. I carry. He pulls out his datapad. Shows you a picture of this like big machine gun that he's got. I shoot this at weekend. It's great fun. Blow up old car. Thi-
1 second, roll coming.
This you would get in trouble for probably, if you bring it through here. Yeah, I think I tried to mention that earlier. This place has its own language.
Doesn't recognize it.
No, you don't. Cool.
Could I have purchased said language via Amazon or whatever? The
Absolutely.
Linguasoft stuff.
Yeah. Can't remember prices of that stuff.
I'll look it up in a second.
Hi, 1 Russian, please.
Duh, here is Russian. Me? Here's your receipt with Novichok.
You wanna pass that translator along to the rest of us?
Yep. Once I figure it out.
You have reached the maximum number of devices for this program. Please download an additional license in order to install.
Depending on the cost, I'll just buy multiple copies.
No, you don't need to.
What complexity do people have?
What is my little device?
Do you need 3 for broken or 4 for accented?
I've got 4.
Grats.
Nice.
3.
Software is so complicated.
Yeah, it is. Stupid computers.
Oh god, yeah, no, it's she gets people either the broken or accented depending on your stuff.
Okay. You probably buy an accented one and a broken one, and that'll do you. You don't need to buy one for everyone.
I mean, it's probably the same program. It's just the broken one. You have to turn some stuff off to make it run.
Yeah, no, I'm fine with that. Yeah.
Fair. That'll
You've
work.
all got computer operation, and a few of you got computer programming, so that'll work.
Yep.
Yeah.
That'll do.
That'll do, pig.
Doesn't let us actually speak it, but at least we'll know what they're saying when they're yelling us to stop.
Fair enough.
You could type it and get your text to speech to say it.
True.
Roll me botany, please, Silver. That'd be important as well.
Oh, the other thing. I forgot I had botany.
You'd have wanted that first.
I'm rolling all shit after those crits.
Yeah. Not harvestable yet, I don't think.
Cool.
Okay. So, yeah, customs, rewind. Gina, out wandering the street. Are people just following Gina, or are you going to go your own way for a bit?
We usually leave Gina to her own devices, and then she comes back with a hotel.
That is the general gist of things, usually.
I mean, you're certainly welcome to join us. Join me.
I was gonna go to the university.
Have fun.
University is pictured on this map. It is, like, over several buildings on the southwest side of this circle.
Cool. I'll get a taxi or mass transit there.
It's even not that long a walk, but there's trams that are pretty easy to follow. I don't even need a roll. You'd only fail it. Cause more problems for yourself. So Gina, give me that research check while you're walking, looking for
All right.
the nicest place in town. You find pretty quickly that Decimu City doesn't actually have legalized gambling, apparently. And when you see this, you just like shit a brick.
That's fine. There's always back rooms and stuff like that.
Apparently, it's legalized in Kisis, that island, and also in the other one that's name I've forgotten, but the other coastal region, kind of on the same latitude as that island. But it's not legal anywhere else on the planet. And as you kind of come across that realization, you look up and see that you're in a pretty dingy alley.
Hmm.
Right on the far right of this map. Just one block over from the docks. And you are looking up at a blinking red light underneath one of those domed security cameras. And you stood in front of a big iron door with a face slot. And it slides open.
Hi. She smiles.
Just one.
Yep.
Cover charge 100.
Our blah intergalactic credits good?
Aye. He
She will.
sticks a little scanner thing out of the eye hole that you can swipe your data pad across. Use the near field
Sure,
communication chip
definitely.
to use your Bing Pay feature.
Pays with her Apple Watch.
Bing. A couple of seconds later, he's like, "All good." Then you hear like a bunch of chains, deadbolts. Door slides open. He's a big bald guy with a couple of scars. Did you disguise yourself at all?
No.
Okay, cool. He looks you up and down and squints. And then just says, "Head on through. I've not got a map for this
Thanks.
place."
To the other side.
No, she'll head in and figure out see what kind of establishment it is.
Jazz club, speakeasy style. People are quite well dressed inside. I should describe more about this planet. Gravity is ever so slightly higher than Earth's, barely a perceptible difference to 1G. Atmospheric
1.05.
atmospheric pressure is slightly thicker at 1.15, but you suffer no ill effects from that. It has a 97-hour rotational period, so pretty much a 4-day day where you get 2 full galactic standard days of sunlight and then 2 full days of night. It is currently sunset over Decimu City, so the sky is extremely red because the star here is also a red giant, and it's kind of like big on the horizon in the east, and yeah, basking everything in this dim red glow. It's quite beautiful, and it's apparently going to last for another, 6 hours or so. Sunset. Sky will change from this to a dark purple. You won't
I'm
get to see
betting
many stars.
this establishment will pick up pretty well once night falls.
It already has quite a few people in here. Definitely, not busy yet. Lots of empty tables, but it seems like a pretty fine class establishment, despite its crude exterior.
Sounds like just the kind of place. She'll go find a seat at the bar, assuming there is one.
Yeah, you have to walk down some stairs. It's in a basement, it seems, and you push through a curtain, and it opens up into all this wood-panelled little jazz club. And the person behind the bar looks right at you and just drops the glass they're holding, and it shatters. A couple of people applaud lightly in the background.
Nice.
I've got his picture. And he just says, Gina?
Hi. Yep.
He looks a bit nervous left and right. You're back.
I am, yeah.
Uh,
So, how are things?
he ducks behind bar and sweeping up the glass. Good, normal, good. He stands back up. Get you a drink?
Please.
Usual?
That sounds great.
He starts mixing you a cocktail. Carrick's out at the minute.
Probably for the best.
Yeah, he's not going to be happy to see you unless you've got his credits.
How bad is it?
He was pretty pissed.
Well, I figure I'll probably make it right.
Do you want me to talk to him before you come back later?
I mean, maybe let him know I'm in town?
Yeah. You still on the old frequency? He pulls out a small data pad, taps a couple of messages, and then you get a notification on your data pad.
That did it.
Okay.
Thanks.
What are you doing back in town? I thought you weren't coming back.
Wasn't planning on it, but with a new crew.
It's it's not even been a year.
Feels like longer.
It's actually been 3 of this planet's air quote years.
Fair.
But I feel like most of the galaxy uses the standard calendar.
Yeah, totally.
He hands you your cocktail. It took a while to make. It's got like egg white in it and what have you. Some kind of espresso martini.
But it's good.
You know, like espresso martinis. But yeah, it's good. It's some local plant martini. It's kind of bitter, but you like it. You can tell it's a refined taste that you've acquired.
Hmm.
It's smoky. He probably like burns a leaf and drops it in the shaker.
So I'm curious if you know the number.
Well, we all had guesses, and I mean, there is the other thing as well. Give me an acting if you're trying to not come off as.
Yeah, she's trying hard, but yeah, you're right. Nope.
Wow. Yeah, he frowns and just leans in. Says, "Have you forgot how much you owe him?"
She leans in. Look, there was. She looks visibly flustered because she is. There was this spider thing, and my memories aren't what they used to be.
He looks confused. Says, "Gina, you owed him a cool 3 million credits before you killed his son and skipped town."
Fuck. She says.
So you didn't come back to make it right? I mean, he didn't like his
I mean,
son, but he didn't want him dead.
How do you make something like that right?
Oh, that's why you said you weren't coming back. I've, I've still. Your old place is fine. You can come back and stay. I'll clean up.
It might not be for the best.
I'll clean up my stuff. Oh yeah, maybe not actually. Shit. I can find you a place. You should really probably just leave here as soon as possible. Honestly, he's looking around a bit nervously.
Yeah, maybe I'll finish this drink later. Thanks for the warning.
And he says like, stay away from the goose, stay away from Jimmy's, stay away from the park side because that's Carrick's now too. He's looking at your face and he just says, you don't remember where any of these places are, do you?
Nope, but she's definitely making mental notes of them.
Only two of them have got signs. Don't go in any bars on these streets, he says.
Fuck. She leaves.
The bouncer that you walked in past, he winks at you and goes like, on your way out. There's that click sound. Alright,
Doesn't even register.
so Hui and Alexei are just cargo moving, I'm pretty sure, right?
Yeah,
I'm
we
not
gotta
sure
get that stuff.
if there will be time left with the 3-hour delay.
30-minute delay.
30 minutes. Oh, okay. So.
Yeah, it's like 30 minutes before you could take off, and then 30 minutes to get back to orbit, and then an hour of loading, and then 30 minutes to get back down.
Well, we gotta do
So-
it because we're the only ones making with bringing in a steady income for the ship. So
Right
Yeah.
now, this is the case.
Do you roll anything in sequence or one roll for everything? How do you want it to work?
Let's take one more freight handling and one more piloting, please.
I want to take my time with freight cargo.
All right.
That actually extends it by a lot, Ev. Are you sure about that?
yeah, we
For-
don't have that kind of time.
But it does
I got
take
an
longer
11
to
on my
unload
roll
it if
last
he
time.
fails by more.
Oh, that's true. All right.
Maybe the +1 that only doubles it, right?
Yeah, a +1 doubles it, and on a failure you stand to like lose a lot more time.
I do like the idea that he always moves really slowly and everybody gets annoyed though.
Either way, it's taking longer than you'd expect.
Okay, so I will take time to say for rolling on 12 with a +1, correct?
Yep.
Alexi does not help.
No, you do not.
I do by 3.
Alexi, you have it done in an hour, you'd say, while Hui's only got his half, like, slightly done. And then Hui's like, you done it all wrong, you bastard! And yes, though it takes 2 hours to load, this cargo will only take 30 minutes to unload. So you do a much better
And
job.
then
And some of it is illegally stashed cargo.
The trick is remembering which.
Sis, excuse me, my shipment of eggs was hard-boiled and contained a nuclear device.
well, that would explain the hard-boiled state of those eggs.
Yeah. You get it through
Oh.
customs.
And yeah, he's gonna help his smuggling
Oh, aye,
roll
that
a little bit by flirting with that guy.
he sees you coming, and he's like, "Oh, you're back. Welcome back." So, yeah, what's going on the conveyor? He looks at your crates.
Yeah, just start loading it all up. No, just motor goods we're bringing in from off-world.
He's like, "Weekend's starting up. I've got next 2 days off. Love the day shift." Nighttime,
Oh,
party
really?
time. Yeah.
Maybe you should, you could show me around a little bit.
Oh, there's a sick club. Do you like clubs?
Oh, I love clubs.
Oh, mate.
I just can't help myself at a club.
Here, one mo. He like grabs a piece of paper and pulls a pen out of his pocket and scribbles down.
Maybe flirting with him, just be like, I do admit I'm not much of a dancer. Maybe you could teach me.
I'll show you some moves, pal. He says.
Yeah, jot his number down, and
Mhm.
obviously we're just gonna purposely fail that compulsive carousing on that one.
Mhm.
He is going to be there.
Yeah, he's gonna be there in about 5 hours. He says. He's gonna take a nap, and then he'll be there in 5 hours. The place opens now, pretty much. He looks at his watch and says, but
Oh,
it don't
I'm
close for another
I
48 hours.
I might be just a little late because I got a couple more of these runs to do. But maybe you could help mitigate that tardiness. Help us expedite this line a little bit.
Where you been moving? Let me see that. Oh, this is bullshit. Yeah. He stamps something. He's got like one of those, handheld printer things, and he swipes it across a few of your boxes.
Awesome. Cool. Yeah, get it through, and I feel like it's not too much to expect these guys to come pick it up from customs at least, right?
Correct. They are willing to do that.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, get it through customs, make sure that it gets to all the people, and then be like, we're going back for another 2 loads, and yeah, rinse and repeat.
What about the illegal stuff? Because I don't think you've contacted that buyer yet. Where are you storing it? They will also want it all at once rather than over 4 hours.
Oh, we probably dropped the car off here.
Yes. So
So
you probably brought that on this trip.
yeah, like just park the car and like, oh, this is just some of our personal luggage for the stay.
Cool. Yeah, that's fine. Very nice. Uh, Silver, you managed to
Yes.
find the university. You make it over
Yes.
there. What in particular are you wanting to see at this place?
I was looking for the alien or the precursor studies thing place.
Xenoarchaeology and
Yes.
xenologies, xenologies. Yeah, there's a few departments. Lectures going on in a few rooms that you walk past. You could walk right in this place. Like, no one really stops you. It's a university.
Oh, yep. You know what? I'm gonna do some auditing of a class.
You should go ahead and sit in a xenoarchaeology class.
Yeah.
Ancient professor. And she's just like, withering, pointed up at some ancient precursor artifacts that have been found. You see some symbols that look familiar to you.
I'll take notes and everything, but then after the class is over, I'm gonna like approach this lady.
Okay. Yeah. Yes, dear?
That was a very interesting lecture,
Yes.
Professor. Dot dot.
She's got right thick glasses and she adjusts them a bit and she says, "Are you a student here?"
No, I audited that class. I was actually hoping to speak with someone with your specialties. Could I have a moment of your time?
I've got 5 minutes.
I'll give her a bit of a smile and say, you might want to give a little bit more than 5 minutes considering some of the information I have, but sure."
I've got 5 minutes this moment, dear. What information do you have?
I recently was a part of a archaeological dig on a planet, and I have actually grabbed quite a wealth of information.
Oh my, what
Uh,
planet?
the first one, I don't remember the name of it.
Dutera.
Dutera.
Huh. Yes, I. Now that's interesting. Okay, I'm intrigued. What were you hoping to ask me?
Well, I have a lot of corporate notes from them, but the language is still beyond my ability to comprehend, and was hoping we could maybe uh, get a bit of translation help on some of the things.
Uh, there's some things we think we've learned. It's not an exact science yet, translating their text. So few fragments have been recovered in various sources. Do you have much source material?
I will ping her over, not the photo, but the copied text from
Mm-hmm.
uh, one of the from the Dutera one.
Yeah, like
Just like
just someone's
get,
illustration
yeah,
of the symbols.
exactly, and just enough to like get her in, grab her interest.
Yeah, she like nearly has an heart attack, you think. I I need more of this, please. What is this? What was it on?
Uh, like what was it? How many meters radius?
20. Oh, radius 10.
20, 10 radius sphere.
A a glyph, a Vartis glyph. There, you found there was. I need I need all of it. You can be handsomely rewarded for this. I'll buy it all. I'll I'll spend the whole funding budget.
Well, how about we have a sit down when you have more than 5 minutes? What are your office hours?
Mm, I'm closing. It's night's coming. I really should be getting home, but when it dawn, an hour after dawn, she points up at a weird-looking clock. It's essentially 48 hours ish from now.
I am shocked that she doesn't want me just to stay at the office longer, but okay.
The night is dark and full of terrors.
That one. She's got to get
I'll be
home
like,
quick before the Minecraft zombies get her.
well, if that's the earliest you can do, that'll do. I'll see you in 48 hours ish.
Mm, mm. I need to speak with some of my colleagues and our legal department. Alright. And Tima, you're the only person that we've not really seen what you're doing after customs.
Timur will probably head out to a bar with his buddies.
Ah, yeah,
Just a
your
little
buddies.
goodbye.
Yeah, they know a place. They are heading like out of the city essentially. It's a few 100 kilometers away that they're gonna catch a bus to.
Have you guys been here before?
Mm-hmm. Several times. We would have actually
Was I
preferred
here with you?
to land in Kulsa. You've been here with us, yes. This was one of the first places we visited, and stayed for longer than a few days after leaving Arcona.
I see.
I doubt anyone here will recognize you. We landed in the capital, and then we moved to Kulsa. We're still based in Kulsa.
Okay. Question, because I don't remember. I think this was discussed at least partially. Did they recognize the name Timur?
Yeah, I think they did.
Okay.
Yeah, and that were part of why it was suspicious that you'd called yourself that. That's a slight retcon, but yeah, they thought it were a bit weird that you called yourself Teamer. But also maybe
Okay,
not
so
so
they know
weird.
that it's an alias.
Yeah.
Was I using the Teamer alias here too?
No, you would die Yun here the last time we all visited. I don't know if you've been back
All
since.
right. I don't know either.
Well, good luck. One of
Thank you.
them's been on a data pad and says we don't have a bus until not for another 12 hours, so we'll be sticking around for a while here, and you can stay in touch easily while you're on planet. Transit here's pretty good, and you've got a shuttle. You can get anywhere in 30 minutes.
Well, as that night wears down, Teamer will say bye to his buddies.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be sure to keep in contact as best I can.
Alright. Very good. They all do the hand wrist clasp weir and head out with the luggage. And it's getting about a time where we should be calling it, really.
Can
Yeah.
I have one quick scene, Luke?
Of course.
What I wanted to do was go to the dorms and run a con. So I'll head up.
Betrayal.
I'll head up to the dorm area.
Okay, yeah, it takes a little bit of finding, but you find some student accommodation and get to, like, where it's just long rows of dorm rooms.
All right. So
It
I'm
is
going to try.
it is a little bit of ways from where you were, but not too far. It's in
Yeah.
this section here.
Oh, that's okay. Weird.
This is where it's like in some places.
So I am going while I'm on the way walking there. I'm going to look up someone who looks kind of like me that on their Facebook, like or equivalent, Facebook, TikTok, whatever, is out of town this weekend. Can I find that computer operation?
I think I'd rather have a research. This is like going to
Research.
take some looking into things using reverse image searches.
Basically, my con was to get a free room
Uh-huh.
for at least a few days.
You want to try and stay in someone's dorm room that's potentially not here right now. That's
Or
a
an
good
empty
roll.
dorm room. The Christ with a sob story about how I was supposed to come out this weekend, but they ditched me to go off with like their boyfriend or something like that, and I don't have a place to stay. And little girl in trouble.
You can find an empty dorm room.
Okay.
There's not really anyone young enough, though, that you could pretend to be. But there's a few people that you
No,
could pretend to be related to. That's what you were after,
yeah,
right? Yeah, okay.
that was what I was after. And that they're not here because they ditched me. Like they're out of town this weekend.
Okay, I see. And yes, you can find that on people's social media because they posted that they've just headed to Kesis for party weekend or whatever.
Exactly.
Yes, and that is a success by 9. So yeah, you've managed it. But there's no one around, honestly. For the foreseeable, you're not going to have to even answer anyone's questions. You don't think?
It's I just steal a room.
Yeah. Have you got?
And then if they have questions, then I'll pull out the sob story.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Anyone else got a final scene they'd like? Gina, do you keep looking for bars after that place?
No, she's not going to keep looking for bars. She was warned off of the bars. She is going to look for a hotel though.
Okay. You
So
find a few quite nice ones. Various status levels. You weren't warned off all the bars. Pretty much it seems like they were all east of this yellow main road here.
fair.
But if you're still being extra careful, then yeah, probably end.
I mean, she'll definitely head west of that and keep looking for hotels and/or bars, I suppose. Then,
You probably end up
but
in
we
a
can
nice hotel bar.
probably, but we can dive into that next game, I guess. The only thing I really wanted to do this game was send out the text of local underworld might be looking for us. Watch out, guys.
Everyone gets that text.
And a whole bunch of replies like, well, no shit, we kind of assumed that was going to be the case, right?
I was more hopeful.
We're not all such a pessimist, Alexi.
Also, might need to move to the island cities. There's no gambling here.
Deliveries almost done. Got date.
Yeah, you're on
Great.
your last trip down now, Alexi. All right.
Great. We'll get the hotel room.
I have a meeting tomorrow.
Air quotes tomorrow.
Currently staying at the university.
I like to think there's a long pause after that one.
Everyone's just like, and then maybe one person just says K.
From
That kid
Alexi.
is so
Sure,
weird.
why not?
Because of course.
I just love that since everyone doesn't know how to deal with kids before this, and especially after like the brain thing, they still really don't know.
Yeah, no, if any of you ever
How
have
to
kids
interact.
in the future, it's going to be so messed up. So there's a partner that's got a bit better world experience, thanks to not having amnesia.
I mean, we have movies and stuff to go off of.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Don't
seem
they
to remember
always
some of
end
those.
up badly?
They really will.
yeah. Yeah, you watched something with this guy called Adam Sandler in it. I can't remember what that film's called actually.
Big Daddy.
Big Daddy. Yeah,
Grown-ups.
so many
Terrible.
films with Adam Sandler in.
Big Daddy was just the one that he had a kid in.
Yeah.
So, and then also, Luke, when I have time in that dorm room, I'm actually going to start getting the least relevant data, but the most but tantalizing to sell to her.
Okay.
Like, not enough that they'd be able to go treasure hunting on their own. Or if they do go treasure hunting on their own, it'll be the places we've already been to.
Okay. Sounds good. Let's call it. Thanks very much for watching. I was the GM, Luke. We had Jared.
Hey, I'm Jared. I played Timur. Openness up to the possibility of doing non-work or scammy stuff, like games or movies too.
We had Everoth.
Hello, I was Everett, and I was just taking it easy this game, just loading it up.
Loading
One
it up.
crate at a time.
Recovering from your burns. Oh yeah, you gotta rebuild your
Trying not
calluses
to
on your
die.
fingers. Your fingertips are all soft. We had Lee.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Lee. I played Gina, and this is a terrible place. No gambling? What savages?
Oh, there's great gambling. We're
Really
just
is a hive of scum and villainy.
no longer welcome. We had James.
Hey, I'm James. I play Alexi, and he's got a date.
Lexi got a date. Going to the club.
Go,
Good.
Alexi.
Alexi's gonna be a
Yeah.
club kid now. And we had Tara, also got a date.
Hey, I'm Tara. I played Silver. Her date is way more creepy in age disparity.
You don't know how old that guy were. He's the bicentennial man. It's Robin
Like,
Williams.
what's 70
and
years between friends?
covered in
Like
rubber.
you also said, lady, old lady.
Yeah, I did.
Like, but anyway, yeah, she's looking forward to proving to them that the sphere is actually worth something, and as well, learning more because knowledge is power.
So post credits scene. Back in that pub. Carrick, or this guy, screaming, "What the fuck? She was in my bar, and you let her leave?" He slaps that bouncer who's 2 feet taller than him and weighs 4 times as much, and he looks terrified. And Carrick's like, "This is ridiculous." He picks up his datapad and rings someone. The person who answers is wearing red robes, a gas mask over the face. They are out in the desert, it looks like, based on the scenery west of Decimu City. In the hills, the deserty hills, mountains. There, Carrick. She is back. Gina Weimer is back in Decimu City. Your services are needed again. And the person just says, "Acknowledged." She's a woman, and she looks over at the 3 people that she's with. And says, "We'll move out." And they stand up and head over to some horses that they climb on and kind of clop over in the direction of the city in the distance. Thanks very much for watching, everyone. We're the Kobold Cafe. You can catch us just about everywhere at Kobold Cafe, except our website, which is thekoboldcafe.com. We'll be back on Thursday with Star Trek, and next Sunday with more of this. Bye bye.
Bye
Bye
bye.
bye.
Bye.